without, we are not going to be talking about somebody else's future. So that is the issue. So the earlier they sort out whatever problem, differences they have, the better. But thankfully, Keshi will come into the country, and we sincerely hope that they will tie up every loose end and allow the man to concentrate on the job. We don't have time, really. We don't have time. Even the team we are going to play, Rwanda, they are currently taking part in Kagame Cup in that country. So they are preparing.
I expect that somebody will be there to know what they look like.
That's if they are proactive. If they are going to be proactive, to pick out some of the some tips
about the opponent,
especially in need for the match against Rwanda. So these are issues that should be tied up in the next few days. Not even
no time to waste.
Because the players themselves, if Keshi is actually communicating with them, means that they too should be in the right frame of mind to play the game. And if the players don't know whether they will come or not, they are not going to prepare themselves mentally. Now that is communicating with them,
for a game that is coming early on in the season, they need to be mentally prepared, because it's coming very early into the season.
And just like you said, on August 13th, on Wednesday, we are not going to make full use of that FIFA friendly window. So I think it's a big minus, but we hope that they'll be able to make up for anything, any shortcomings that has arisen because of this crisis in Nigerian Football Federation.
Let me come to you. Let's talk about some other 2015 Africa Cup of Nations game. I mean, the fear of Ebola is the beginning of wisdom for a lot of African countries.
Yes.
Seychelles pulled out. We don't know what CAF is going to do, because Sierra Leone are also saying that they will pull out of football and
deal with Ebola
first before they think about the football. We don't know what will happen to Seychelles, but what's the story? Togo are also saying, look, we have a game, and it's against Guinea, and Guinea is a trouble area. Can't you move this game forward for us?
Yeah, for Togo it's slightly different. Togo is not saying they wouldn't play, but Togo, as long as the game will take place in Guinea, they would have problems. Guinea is one of the West African countries where there's the outbreak of Ebola virus, and the Togolese FA is saying, look, we want to play. Of course, we want to be at the Nations Cup.
We don't want to pull out of the Nations Cup.
Shift the venue, or just take it out of Guinea. As long as it's not going to be in Guinea, we're ready to play. It's interesting that Guinea is one of the few countries that known to have problems with Ebola, but refusing to withdraw from football. All other countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, have said football can wait. Guinea, officially, that is, they've not said anything. So it gets interesting. So we'll see what will happen. But of course, you can't be sure if the game will take place in Guinea, Togo will not be there, because they've raised.
I think CAF will need to come out clearly, because Ebola is a scourge. And those, for example, we're lucky that we have not been put in the same group with maybe Sierra Leone. And if Sierra Leone was still in the race and Nigeria has to play an away game in Sierra Leone, are you saying the Eagles will fly to Sierra Leone and go play?
I think
when flights have been stopped from flying into some countries, and some countries are saying, look, just stay there, treat yourself before you think of football. I think CAF also needs to act very quickly.
No, I think we should spare CAF. It's a very difficult situation.
Yes.
Because it's not something that is in the rule books. This is an emergency. It just happened. So CAF, they are in a dilemma on what to do. But I think what the Guineans should do is to give adequate assurance. For Guinea, I know why they want to play, because most of their players are in Europe. They believe they can just come in 2 weeks, try to isolate them from possible attacks, where the virus is prevalent. But for
can they consider playing in neutral ground? Because if there is war in a country, for example, you play in a neutral ground.
Yes.
Can we look at this as a war situation and then go play a game in a neutral ground?
War is different, because you cannot predict where the attack will come from. But this situation can be contained. They know the areas where the virus is prevalent. And if they can give assurance that the hotels, that all the players of Guinea and they don't have the virus.
Behind closed doors.
They don't have the virus.
People will not come to work again.
That's where the test them as certified that they don't have the virus, because it's a contact game. For Sierra Leone, it's difficult, because most of their players are based in Sierra Leone. So you cannot at this moment.
I have a slightly different opinion.
Okay.
What he said is right, but would those guarantee be enough? If I was to come to Guinea,
will I take your guarantees?
Will I take your guarantees? because my life is more important.
I have reports of the hundreds of those who have died.
So if Guinea can assure the Togolese that, look, you're safe, will that be enough for Togo
to fly to Guinea.
Fly 25 players and their officials
Because
into Guinea.
what CAF is trying to avoid is setting a precedent. When you set a precedent,
And you move one game.
you move one game.
You're ready to move many more
You have
games.
to move many more games. So that is the issue.
We should spell it for the Ghanaians as well, and some other countries that have closed their
same group,
borders.
yeah.
So it will get to a point in this race that probably Ghana and some of those other countries will have to play teams, that have Ebola in their country, and we're going to have a situation like this.
All right, it's a little dicey, but let's hope that something will happen in the next few days and CAF will come out with a clear direction of what we need to do. And the irony of all of this is that there is no time for African qualifiers to be moved anymore because all the windows of FIFA have been choked up with fixtures in Africa. You have a situation where you play a game on a Saturday and travel to play another game midweek for the first time in the African qualifier. So there is really little time to move games if we must keep up with the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations next January in Morocco. Let's talk about the girls in Korea very quickly. Good news for Nigeria. Excellent performance by the girls. 2-1 over Korea. Puts them in good stead to qualify from the group. I think the record of the early goal that we scored, 14 seconds they said?
Fastest goal
ever
tournament
from Courtney DK. Just was what we needed in this game.
Yeah,
because it wasn't an easy game for us.
It calmed the nerves. At some point, I thought these Koreans might just get back into the games, and probably what made the difference was probably that early goal. And this one,
and this one from Hazel.
It
gets a run of play, I must say.
Yeah, and you're looking at it and like, well, you might just be needing a draw to qualify. That might just be enough to see the fact that the other teams played a draw and we're in a very good position. But looking at this on the 20 side, I mean, they've always gone past the group stage. It truly have been a disaster of immense proportions if we had lost this game. I see us progressing to the next one. What's going to happen after?
What we need Thursday morning is just a point of England. But I don't think we should go for a point to avoid where a situation whereby head-to-head and goal difference and all of that will come in. Just go and try to get the result. Because we are in good stuff.
But there must be that balance. I mean, we're in a position where we're on top.
Where we could play for a draw and be sure we'll qualify.
We don't have to risk too much because we could still be knocked out. If the results, some combination of results can knock us out. So we have to be careful, maintain that balance between, defending sensibly and going forward, having defense in your mind, having that balance and ensuring that you get the result
that you need
to take you to the next one.
All right. Okay, let's move very quickly and talk about another national team now, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. They have arrived in Kaduna, started training today. They're looking forward to welcoming Lesotho this weekend.
Yeah, Toyin, also...
You beat Lesotho, you are through to the African Youth Championship.
Yes, that's home and away.
Yeah, first leg this weekend, second leg in a fortnight.
You also recall that the FA in Lesotho raised Ebola fears too.
Because Nigeria, they don't want to come.
They don't want to come, but
you understand what I'm saying?
But they have been given adequate assurance that we only have, maybe isolated cases, perhaps in Lagos.
And Kaduna is far away from Lagos.
Far away from Lagos. So they are going to come, whether they like it or not, and they are going to play. But the good thing is that Manu Garba and the team arrived in Kaduna last weekend, and they have settled down, quickly, with Awoniyi, likely to spearhead because
in the absence of Iheanacho and Isaac's success.
Absolutely. So they have made up their mind on what to do. So that is good.
Work with the players available in Nigeria.
Available, and make sure that they are in good shape for this game. I think everything is, working for them. If they can get the required result here, it's a question of going to Lesotho and making it a formality. Judging by what Nduka Agbade said, he said, they are going to be ruthless against Lesotho. And I think that's the way to
ruthless means Pumer done with plenty of goals.
We are African champions, and we must play like
champions. We're not African champions. We lost out to...
Yes, I know.
But we are world champions.
We are world champions.
Bigger than African champions.
We must play like champions. We must, Pumer these small teams from Africa. Send the right message across that we are not in for tea party.
And strike fear into any opponent that comes out.
Not the fear of Ebola, but the fear of considering many goals. We wish the boys the best of luck, and we must commend Manu Garba for what he's been able to do with these boys. And Nduka Agbade, they've made this team a well-blended side, a delight to watch. And we wish them the best of luck as they play Lesotho this weekend. And tell Lesotho as well that please come to Kaduna, no need to fear. just come and be prepared to go back with a basket full of goals.